And a man in Milwaukee, he was the head of the department, of this chemical department, of a huge, huge organization, Alice Chalmers. He was their great physicist, where they sent in all kinds of samples of water from all over the world for his analysis to explain why they're getting sediment on the huge big turbines that they were making. And so he analyzed the water and then sent back his analysis of the water, because water picks up the little sediments across the land that it moves. And so if it brings certain things, well, it cakes within the thing. So he tries to explain why. So when I said what I have just told you, he said it can't be done. We have a law in science which we call entropy. And entropy is you cannot change the past. That the past is unalterable, and man is moving forward in time with an unalterable past. And I said you can change the past. Man can revise the past and change it as though it never happened. And the day will come, everyone is going to change the entire past and simply revise it. He said it can't be done. I am a scientist. I am the leader in my profession. Well, he was big enough to send me a copy of that which came out in the science bulletin about 2 months after I left Milwaukee. And this is what the scientist said. He has just been given the Nobel Prize for what he wrote in 1949. His name is Dr. Richard Feynman, now professor of physics at Caltech. And in this magazine he wrote, months after I told the story in Milwaukee. And he said, discussing a little particle, the atomic particle known as a positron. He said the positron starts from where it hasn't been, and it moves to where it was a moment before. Arriving there, it is bumped so hard, its time sense is reversed, and it moves back to where it hasn't been. Now that is Professor Feynman of Caltech. I said I go forward in time where I have not yet visited physically, and I simply enclose myself in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I haven't yet realized it physically, but I go forward in my mind's eye, in my imagination, into the state, and I talk with my friends from the wish fulfilled, as though it were true. Then I open my eyes, and I am startled to find that I'm sitting in a chair where I was a moment before. And what I had just done is denied by my senses. But strangely enough, the whole vast world reshuffles itself and forms a bridge of incident against which, or beyond which I move, or across which I move, to the fulfillment of that state where I had been. So he said it starts from where it hasn't been, and it moves to where it was an instant ago. Arriving there, it is bumped so hard that its time sense is reversed, and then it travels back to where it hasn't been. I simply would put myself in a state, and I would see the world as I would see it if it were true. And I looked and I saw it, and saw my friends smiling with me because they were happy that I achieved what I said I would achieve. And so they were smiling with me. And then I open my eyes, and my friends aren't present. I'm back in my room, and it's the same old room, the same limitations, the same everything. But then, in a way I did not know, this little bridge of incident was built, and I went forward to fulfill what I had done. So I went forward and I did what I wanted to do, and then I started from where I had not been physically, and sped back to where I was physically. And then I was bumped, shocked, that it wasn't true. I was bunked so hard that I then turned around in my time sense and moved back to fulfill where I had been in my imagination.